And a great start to Hong Kong with Rowan Barty scoring just outside of the post. Yes, was straight from the kickoff. So, yeah, good start for Hong Kong, Mike. And it's probably day two. I'm sure they had a couple of little scenarios to address after last night's yesterday's performance. And a kick is not successful by Jamie Hood. The score for Hong Kong is taken out to 5 points to 0 against the Philippines.
You pulled this up and then it was something might have got pulled out or something. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It has been raining overnight, and it's been quite wet a lot since the start of the match. So let's hopefully that Hong Kong and the Philippines can put on a nice spectacle. Yep. Testing.
just off the woodwork. Just off the woodwork.
Yeah, that takes the score out to 12 points to 0. Hong Kong take the lead, and apologies for our listeners out there in the audio check. So Mike, Rehu and myself are back on board. So here we are in the first half of the first match of day 2, Hong Kong versus the Philippines. Jamie Hood kicks off with a great take there by the Philippines.
So Philippines well behind now, 17-0. This is a brutal start from Hong Kong. Jamie Hood this time, and Philippines have got a couple of issues with their defence. We saw it yesterday as well as they went down to Sri Lanka 17-15 in the last seconds. A heartbreaker for them there. It looked like they'd taken the game off the Sri Lankans, the much more fancied Sri Lankans, but just somebody coming out in the line in the last seconds, allowing Marijit, the captain for Sri Lanka, to run 85 metres for the try. And here's Hong Kong again. They're really up for today. You can tell there's more urgency as Yu Kam Shing decides to get physical again too. It's been a feature of his play this weekend. Varty with oodles of space, and over he goes. Hat-trick time for Rowan Varty.
Great effort. It was a great tackle early on in the phases, about 4 or 5 phases back. And yeah, Hong Kong put a lot of pressure on that defence and turned their ball over and kept nice and patient. Great couple of little phases there. And then, yeah, absolutely. Varty was a bit quiet yesterday on the score sheet, but she's making it up today with 3 tries apiece already.
Now, looks like Varty is really up for today. He's a very passionate player. We saw him.
And that's a successful kick there by Jamie Hood, which takes the score to Hong Kong 22 points to 0 at the halftime break.
So what an exciting first half of rugby from Hong Kong. They obviously got the message overnight, Dino.
Well, I suppose, Mike, you and I talked about yesterday, and I suppose one of the form teams, if not two, would probably at the end of day 1 would have been Sri Lanka and Japan. And I think they played to the conditions a lot better than the other teams. And not saying the other teams are still without a chance, but you've got to revisit your day 1's play, and I think Hong Kong looks like they did their homework and come out with a 24-point lead at half-time.
Yeah, well, the Philippines, well, they could have been in a much better position in the draw if they'd managed to hold on against Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankans will take on the Chinese team in the last quarter-final of the round, and obviously they've got their mind on plate success already.
Well, that was an exciting match yesterday, Mike, between the Philippines and the Sri Lankans, with the Sri Lankans taking out a reasonable lead, and then the Philippines coming back in the second half playing absolutely within the conditions we saw. Oh, amazing. It was just pure speed all across the park.
Yeah, no, it was match of the day, really, wasn't it? It was superb. It had the crowd on their feet. And,
yeah, and speaking of the crowd, I'm assuming we'd probably get some good numbers today, Mike, and a lot of people want to come down. And as you said, it's 2 teams are vying for that championship title of the A7 series,
including Hong Kong. So their mission, and I'm sure they've chosen to accept it, is to beat Japan in the final if they possibly can, and they will take out the series with points differential. At the moment, they're 1 point behind in the series. Japan have won 2 legs, Hong Kong 1. So very much be heads up. Here's Ben Rimene on, stranded on 99 overnight like a batsman, points for the series. And Tom McQueen also making his presence felt first up. Rafe Morrison to Kwok Ka Chung, a power-packed Jerry Collins-like flanker, can't make it to the line. Just got married last month, couldn't make one of the legs, and was back as soon as he could be for India. Very likeable chap, the dog. Unless you're playing against him, I'm sure.
Bit of a break in the play there, but just interesting to see that. Speaking to a few of the Hong Kong players, and there's an incentive and a bit of a probably a big thank you, I suppose. They're trying to play for Dai Reid's, I suppose, as well as the title. But this is Dai Reid's probably last official as head coach of the Sevens squad. So
yes, exciting times for their Sevens setup with some new coaches coming to Hong Kong. How's the community receiving that news, Dino?
Oh, it's very, very exciting, and any new blood, but coming in with a great program that's already in place. So it's the program that's in existence in association with the China Sports Association and Sports Institute. So it can only get better, and everyone's very, very pleased and very excited about the whole new challenges that's coming ahead for Hong Kong rugby in general.
Anna Richards, an ex-New Zealand Sevens player, is taking the women's coaching role. She's in Pune this weekend. Hi to all the young ladies playing in their Sevens series. As Vati again makes ground and whips the ball over his head. And who's there? It's Ben Rimene. He's got his 104 points for the series. And well done to him, since he shared the kicking and playing duties with Jamie Hood. It's been a very successful season for Ben Rimene, and a great player to have in a support role, Dino.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting that Dai and the management have made some changes at half-time. They've sort of been making them probably within about maybe the 3 to 4 minutes into the second half, or with a half to go. And a great conversion by Benny out wide again. So yeah, it's good. It's good bench. It's good bench to come off and keeping the momentum going as they have already.
Look at Vardy go. He's really up for today, isn't he? We haven't seen him so aggressive for a while.
I suppose it's one of those scenarios, Mike, because as a coach's nightmare, you've got so much to choose from. Who do you pick?
Really with a nice flat kick-off, and Kwok does well to get it down, go to ground. Woodward's there in attendance. Amac. Haynes picks it up beautifully. Good skills from him and takes the contact. His buddy Alex McQueen's there, and here's Woodward. Goes for the spin. Manages to get over the advantage line. Front foot ball here, and it's a real advantage in terms of numbers there for a minute. And Philippines getting over well in cover. It's Boheni affecting a great tackle. And Haynes is off. And Holgate is offside. Haynes will take it quickly and really charging forward. Were Philippines 10 metres back? No, it would appear not. The referee playing advantage. Vati again. He's got the ball on a string today, Rowan Vati. Again, Vati involved. Really up for today. Anthony Haynes gets past the defence. And over he goes for his second try of the tournament.
Yeah, it's just quite impressed with the skill sets. And to be honest, the Philippines just need that ball and get opportunities to attack, but they've been sort of nullified out of all facets to play at the moment by Hong Kong, and I'm quite impressed with the ball retention.
Still pushing hard. You hear the Philippines camp pleading with some more urgency. Get back into this game. Rimini missing that conversion. Matt Saunders exhorting his team to lift their performance. This is a very good outing from Hong Kong. The next quarterfinal we've got is Korea taking on Chinese Taipei. Both teams lifting their form from the series so far. McQueen, that beautiful aerial display. Here's Vati again. He'll need a lie down after this game. He's been everywhere. Well into it, mixing it nicely. Here's Haynes, the try scorer. Woodward's with him. Good support over the ball. That first man arriving for Hong Kong, doing so well. Good strong positions over the ball, making it easy to recycle possession. Fanning out now the Philippines. It's Rimene showing a little bit of footwork, inside ball to Haynes. Haynes breaks a tackle, but gets dragged down by Coveney. Good tackle from him. Oh, there's a room here. Tom McQueen trying to exploit it. Gives it to his brother Alex, and it's Max Woodward who decides to chop inside and go under the posts. Good work from the young fella.
Oh, great build-up, Mike, and you probably go all the way back from the kickoff, and It's one of the big strengths of AMAC there and Alex McQueen. It's just ball retention from a kickoff, and that's so vital. And you got to look at the poor Philippines. They just haven't had the ball in hand, Mike.
Yeah, it's a display very reminiscent of that Japan-Sri Lanka semi-final in Thailand we talked about, where it's so frustrating for a team that wants to get up and compete, but they just can't get their hands on the ball. And it's hats off to teams like Hong Kong and Japan who've got the skills and the players' resources to do that. It just underlines what an important part of the game it is, not just in sevens but in 15s now. We've seen it as well being used.
Yeah, and I'm sure old Max's dad, Ken Woodward, will be very happy with that. I'm sure he would be disappointed not to be in Singapore and missing out on this trip as well, and probably being in the commentary box with us there, Mike.
Yeah, true. He's had a couple of stints, hasn't he? Fair from a job after that, to tell you the truth. Got some talent as Woodward Senior. Handling woes there from Ben Saunders. Now that's the end of the first quarter final of the day, and a bit of a blowout really. Hong Kong teaching the Philippines a bit of a lesson there, 43 points to 0, and looking good in their quest to retain their Asian 7 Series title.